Welcome back to another CrossMaths lesson. Okay, today we're going to be doing pie charts. What I'd like you to do, pause the video now and have a go at the grid in front of you. Right guys, hopefully you've had enough time to do that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through each one individually, okay? I'll try and go as slow as I can. Obviously if you do need to maybe watch it again, pause it and rewind, or if you find it a bit too slow, just flick to the answers. Okay, you've got 1,620 divided by 5. Okay, easy one to start off. I'm going to lay it out my bus stop. 5 doesn't go into 1, so I put 0 up top, carry the 1 over. 5 goes into 16 3 times, remainder 1. 5 goes into 12 twice, remainder 2. 5 goes into 24 times. So my answer is 324. Easy work. Next one, I got 926. Add on 283. Just make sure you don't make any silly mistakes on these ones. 6 plus 3 is 9. 2 plus 8 is 10, so I put 0 and carry the 1. 9 plus 2 plus 1 is 12. So carry the 1 over, 1,209. Next, 38 times 82. Okay, find a method that works for you. Okay, it doesn't matter which one you do. Okay, this is the one I like, okay, because I find it so easy, just multiplying single digit numbers. 38 times 82. 3 times 8 is 24. 8 times 8 is 64. 3 times 2 is 6. And 8 times 2 is 16. Now the first slide I've got the number 6. Then I've got a 6, a 1 and a 4 in the second slide, which makes 11. So I put 1 by there and carry the 1 up. Then I got a 4, a 6, a 0 and a 1, which makes 11 as well. And a 2 and a 1, which makes 3. So my answer is 3,116. Three x plus 11 equals 32. Okay, in order to solve this, okay, solving equations is easy. Get rid of this number first. Okay, if I want to get rid of that number, I'm going to take it away from both sides. If I take away 11 from the left, I end up with 3x. Minus 11 plus 11 is nothing. 32 take away 11 is 21. 3x is 21. If I divide both sides by 3 just to get one lot of x, I end up with x equals 7. Next one, 4.8 take away 1.63. 0 take away 3, I can't do it, so I'm going to borrow. I'm going to turn that 8 into a 7 and give 1 to the 0 to make it into a 10. 10 take away 3 is 7. 7 take away 6 is 1. 4 take away 1 is 3. 3.17. Last one, you've got to expand this bracket first. Okay, don't worry about the 6x at the moment. I'm just going to write that on the next line because it doesn't matter yet. First bit, expand the bracket. I got 4x times x is 4x squared. And 4x times 2 is positive 8x. This bit by here will simplify. I have 4x squared on its own plus 14x if you put those two x's together. This bit won't go together, okay? I can't do anything with that, so I just leave it as my answer. Then I got 3 over 5 times 2 over 7. You just multiply the top, multiply the bottom. 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times 7 is 35. That won't simplify because the biggest thing that goes into 35 and 6 is the number 1. So it can't get any smaller. Share £88 in the ratio 6 to 5. Okay, we should be really good at ratio by now. You've done it every single time. Okay, so what you do first, you add up the ratio 6 and 5. So 6 plus 5 means I got 11 shares altogether. So there's 11 shares of money. I've got to split £88, 11 equal ways. So each share is £8. So I got 6 lots of £8 and 5 lots of £8. 6 lots of £8 is 48. 5 lots of £8 is 40. Okay, really easy. Okay, dividing fractions now very similar. I've got to keep the left the same. It's called keep, change, flip. Keep the left the same, change the middle to a times, flip the right hand one upside down. 5 times 3 is 15. 8 times 1 is just 8. So my answer is 15 over 8, or if you want to simplify it, it goes to 1 whole and 7/8 left over. Okay, it's up to you if you want to do that or not. Right guys, what I'd like you to do, mark whatever you've done so far. Okay, it's 18 points altogether. If you've got anywhere around 15, that's really, really good. Right then, so just a couple of examples. Okay, don't pause the video. Okay, let me talk you through this. Right, what is the mode car colour? The mode means the most. Okay, so which car colour comes at the most? The one that comes at the most is this one by here. Okay, that one is the black car. So the one that comes at the most is black. Second one, which colour is represented by the orange sector? The orange sector is the other. So all this is essentially just looking at the pie chart, looking at the grid next to it, and you've got to work out from the key which bit is which. What fraction of the cars were black? Well, that line goes straight to the middle. If I look at this circle and I take that chunk out, that will be taking a half out. So a half of the cars are black. What percentage were they either silver or blue? Well, blue is purple and silver is green, so that's this bit by here. That's a quarter, and a quarter as a percentage is 25%. 30 cars were black. How many were surveyed altogether? Well, if half were black and there were 30 cars that were black, there's going to be 30 black, and the rest would have to be 30 as well for it to be a half. So altogether there are 60 cars. Right guys, what I'd like you to do, pause the video now, make sure those examples are written down. Okay, it's worth getting one example done really, really well on whatever you're writing on in your book, hopefully. Right then, so example 2, okay, if you want now, pause the video and just have a go at this one yourself. Okay, if you're feeling confident, just have a go. Don't mind me. Okay, those that aren't pausing it, okay, going through each of these. What's the least popular sport? So the least popular sport will be the smallest chunk. The smallest chunk is this one by here. The least popular sport in this one is rugby. Clearly not in Wales. Least popular sport is rugby. Which sport does the purple sector represent? Well, the purple one, sorry if you're colourblind, the purple one is golf. What fraction of people chose football as their favourite sport? Football is the blue one. That fraction by there, I reckon, you've got to try and work out how many of those that fraction you could fit inside the grid. I reckon I could fit 3 of those inside, so that's going to be a third. List the sports from least popular to most popular. Well, least popular, I'm going to do it over on the right hand side using the key. So least popular is going to be number 6. Least popular would be rugby. Then second least popular would be cricket. Then it would be golf. Then it would be boxing. Then athletics, which is down the bottom. And then football is the most popular. So football's number 1. Okay, so I've done it on the right hand side. 60 people chose football. How many people were asked altogether? Well, if there were 60 people chose football and football represents a third, there would have to be 3 of that number in there. So 60 plus 60 plus 60. That would mean it'd have to be 180 people altogether. Okay, very, very straightforward. I like pie charts. They're really easy. Okay, just take a little bit of practice. Right then, pause the video now if you need to get that written down or you need to correct anything. Right then, so very quickly, have a go at those. Pause the video now, have a go. Each time we do a question like this, it's definitely worth getting the pie chart copied into your book or whatever you're writing on. Okay, pause the video and have a go. Okay, those should be all done. Okay, I don't think any of those are particularly tricky. Okay, so I'm going to go through each one. Which material was cycled fewer, paper or glass? Well, glass is the smaller one, so it's going to be glass. Glass is a smaller fraction. How many tons of other were recycled? Other waste is 2/5. Now the number we're dealing with is 800, so it's going to be working out 2/5 of 800. So you divide 800 by 5, which gives you 800 divided by 5, which gives you 160, times by 2 gives you 320. Which material was recycled in large quantities? Inside quantities. You could say paper. You could say paper for that one. Which material weighing 160 tons was recycled? Well, 160 tons, if you worked out the fraction of each one, the one, if you divide 800 by 5, you get 160. Okay, so the one that's done 160 tons would be glass. And the last one, what's the difference between paper and plastic being recycled in quantity? Paper and plastic. Plastic is 80. Paper is a quarter, which is 200. So the difference would be 120. Right, guys, get those marked up for me and then we'll move on. Right then, so very quickly, a GCSE question. Okay, we're going to do 2 of these before we finish. Okay, pause the video now and have a go yourself. It's not that difficult. Answer the 2 questions underneath. Right then, so all you're doing for these is guessing. essentially percentages. So on the first one, how many percentage of members at Haydon's gym, which is the one on the left, are children? Children is the one that is just under 25%. Okay, because you can see it's just under a quarter of the pie. There's a quarter, it's just underneath. If you think about a quarter as a percentage is 25%. If it's just underneath a quarter, that's going to be 20% of children. Which of the following is the best estimate for the percentage of people who work out Palace who are women? Okay, circle your answer. Okay, so it's somewhere between 25% and 50%. Well, the number that's directly between 25% and 50%, if you were to work it out, okay, would be 37.5%. If you do work out directly in between 25 and 50%, so directly between a half and a quarter, so the number that's directly between those, the closest one, is 38%. Okay, I can understand if you'd have gone for 32 as well, because it's about a third. Right guys, pause the video now, very last one that we do. Okay, another GCSE question. Okay, pause the video and have a go. Right then, so, some children were asked to name their favourite flavour of ice cream. The pie chart and table show some of the information about their answers. Okay, so we got vanilla is 12 people. It represents by 90 degrees, so a quarter, and it's 90. Okay, so if you look at vanilla and mint first, look at these two, okay? If I want to get from vanilla to mint, mint is half the size. So if mint is half the size and I want to fill in the numbers of people that did mint, okay, if it's half the size, it's going to be half the number of children. So half of 12 gives me 6. Okay, for strawberry, okay, I may leave that one till last, okay? What I might do first, okay, I may leave strawberry till last. Okay, what I'll do first is work out chocolate. Okay, I need to work out, I think, if I'm looking at 90 degrees and 120 degrees, if I want to get from 90 degrees to 120, I need to work out what 30 degrees is worth in people. Okay, so if I divide the 90 degrees by 3, I get 30. If I divide the number of children 12 by 3, I get 4 children. So in the grid in front of you, 4 children is the same as 30 degrees. So 4 children is the same as 30 degrees if 90 is worth 12. So I'm going to add those two on. 90 and 30, 4 plus the 12 that's already there makes 16. Altogether on the right hand side, all of these angles, remember, have to add up to 360. So I've got 360, I've got 90, 45, 120. All of those have to add up to 360. So I've got 5, 9 plus 4 plus 2 is 15, and 2. So they add up to 255. If we want to fill in that gap, 360 take away 255 gives me 105 degrees for this one. Okay, and that's it filled in. Okay, pie charts are really